Very fast. So I am in a 2025 Flying Spur. They're all speeds now, as I've explained before. And I've talked about this before too, but it's still so cool. It's a hybrid, so instead of the 12 volt battery starting the motor up, it is now a hybrid battery starting the motor up. Also, it changes. It's like a little hologram now. But listen to this. We're gonna flip it over into sport mode. So it like snaps to life because it's got the hybrid battery starting the motor instead of 12 volt. It's pretty sick. It sounds amazing. It's just like bam, and back into EV mode. It's in sport mode. This thing doesn't really, it's kind of like a really nice RS7. It's nothing like crazy. I mean, it's super fast, but it's so smooth. It's like so undramatic. I'm gonna be getting on the highway here in a second, so I'll show you. Okay, so here's second gear. Very fast. Heated surfaces like the armrest is really nice. It works really well. Valves open back up. This isn't like the old one where you could just click a button for freaking sport mode. I think it's in here, actually. The valves close real fast. Car, speed, maximum. I'm gonna raise that up because I have to go off this. Man, what a cool car this thing is. It's like mint, 9,000 miles. Really quiet, but also like kind of sporty. You can hear that nice. Pretty sure this is the same Volkswagen 4.0 V8 twin turbo that's been in everything for forever. It is the same 4.0 twin turbo that's been in everything for forever. Here's the sticker: 500 horsepower, 487 pound-feet of torque, $222,000 in 2016. I really like this two-tone steering wheel, offset stitching. This is like peak Bentley for me. I'll show you guys the outside of it in a second. It's all wrapped, it looks sick. You know another reason why this is peak Bentley for me? Because it had the Breitling clock. I don't ever talk about watches on this channel, but I really like Breitlings, which is not a super popular opinion these days. Breitling's kind of going downhill in the last 10 years. Now, you won't believe me if I told you, but it is 26 degrees out here right now. So I am dying. Check this thing out. This thing's pretty cool. This is black, right? So it looks kind of black, but it's not. It's like a bluish gray. And then you got the Bentley emblems in that same bluish gray. Everything's black with the bluish gray Bentley emblems. I love it. I think it looks cool. The valves don't really want to open, which is kind of weird. Let's see if I do this. Do they open? A little bit. Let's see. Yep. That's what it is. So it's speed is your like sport mode or whatever. Well, let me explain to you why this is peak Bentley for me. First off, obviously this is after Volkswagen got involved. The reason why this is peak Bentley for me is because it's not super old to the point where like nothing works, but it's also not so new that it's basically just a Volkswagen on the inside. That's my problem with the newest Bentleys, is that they all feel like Volkswagens on the inside. Even like the buttons are like identical. They all feel like plastic. I do not like that. This is very sturdy. The buttons are very nice. This is like hefty. All these buttons have like a heavy push to them. Like they feel like quality. This button feels really nice. This feels really nice. This little dial right here for the, these paddles. It had real paddles. The new ones have little plastic buttons on the steering wheel like all Volkswagens do now. But this one had like this one has real paddle shifters that feel really nice. They actually move. They have this texture on the other side of them. This is just like peak Bentley for me. But that's just me, right? Also, I did figure out, which it doesn't like me for, because the PSI is not high enough for what it wants. Because if you go tire info, so for maximum, which is like the sport mode or whatever, it wants the freaking PSIs to be almost 50, which is kind of crazy. But that's its sport mode. So let's see if it, yeah, see, it doesn't like that, which is just silly. I also figured out that the sport suspension in this doesn't really feel like sport. It like barely feels like sport. It's kind of crazy. Oh, my seatbelt just went in, which I need. I can't reach it. It's hard to get. Those are very helpful, those little... The key even feels nice, even though it's a Volkswagen key. It's all covered in like high quality, it is rubber, but high quality rubber and metal. So that's kind of cool. I'm gonna roll these windows down a little bit so you can hear it. I also got the floor mats dirty, which they're gonna kill me, but that's okay. This thing feels like quality, even though it's a 2016 with 9,100 miles, which is like nothing. But for a exotic supercar, whatever you want to call it, for a rarer, low volume car, $9,100 or $9,100. I am really struggling today. For a low production car, 9,100 miles is quite a bit. So we're gonna put it in manual mode. Surprisingly, for a car this old with this transmission, the manual mode actually works pretty decently, especially when you get on it and boost. But I'm gonna try and get some audio clips here. I'll wait for this truck to go ahead of us a little bit. Ready? Can't really hear it. A lot of low end, but it's got a nice thump to it. This thing's like a British muscle car. That's what it kind of feels like to me. I bet you could hear it better with the windows up than you can with the windows down. So let me give it a little. Third gear, second gear, and go. Sounds pretty decent. Just needs an exhaust on it. It is the 4.0 V8 that was in my old Audi. I'm sure it's more like the RS7 where it has forged internals and bigger turbos. I like this car. I like these a lot. And when I start driving Bentleys, it makes me want to get an S8 instead of an S6 or an RS7. It makes me want to get an S8, a bigger, more comfortable, but also fast car. You guys let me know. What do you think? What should I get? I've been thinking about Cayenne turbos still. That's kind of boring, you know, but it's got space and it's comfortable, so I don't know. Or, which I could build a Cayenne turbo, right? I could do no cats. We're in Tennessee, so I don't need cats. Intake, tune. I bet a Cayenne turbo, I bet it'd be pretty fast. Or I could do an S8 or an RS7. Or I could do a V8 M3. I don't know. You guys let me know. What would you guys want to see? Comment down below. You know what else is funny is this little button right here. This fake texture on this button on the screen, kind of like the texture on the paddle, just kind of little. I mean, the texture on the paddle is cool. Texture on a screen is kind of goofy. My iPhone keeps switching between macro and regular mode. I already don't really like the way iPhones look video wise. It's just too HDR-y. It doesn't look very nice to me, like cinematic or nice. So I'm probably gonna switch to a regular camera, my old vlog camera, which a lot of people had problems with because I think the stabilization is going out on it. It's kind of an older camera, and so it's kind of jittery. So you guys let me know down in the comments below, which one do you like more? This one or you like this? I'm out here with this LX450. I think the stabilization might be going out on this camera, so you guys let me know, which one do you like more? This camera or my iPhone camera? This is actually, funny enough, the next day. We are out here with this LX450 that does not have cup holders big enough for my coffee. So I just opened that up. Look how small that cup holder is for that one. This thing has 180,000 miles on it. It has like pretty much brand new KO2s though. And it rides decently for how old it is. What do you guys want to see on this channel? That's the hard part I'm really struggling with right now. I'm really busy. I'm running around constantly. I'm shooting all these random cars. I mean, do you guys want to see stuff like this? Or would you rather see stuff like exotics, like my Bentleys and stuff like that? It really reminds me of my old Sequoia, like a lot. It's kind of crazy. See how long this will sit here. Good thing it's empty. Oh, yep, there it goes. This thing is so old. It still has automatic climate control. Isn't that crazy?